Welcome. My name is Erin. This will be our 1 hour all levels vinyasa flow. Whether you're joining live or on your own time, really glad to be here. If you have blocks, you can place your 2 blocks at the top of the mat. If you don't have blocks, that's okay too. And we'll start in a comfortable seat. That can be Sukhasana, legs crossed, or Ardha Padmasana, pulling one heel to the opposite hip crease. And then start to ground down equally through left and right sides of the body. Let the hands rest gently on the knees. And take an inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. And find your tall seat, shoulders stacking over hips. When you're ready, close the eyes, close the mouth, and start to draw your mental focus to the breath. Begin to visualize the movement of air in and out through the nose. Over the next few rounds of breath, deepen your breath, drawing air all the way to that bottom third of the lungs. Feeling the belly expand on the inhale and actively contract in and up on the exhale. When you find your rhythmic pace of breath today, start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath, lightly constricting the back of the throat. Begin to hear an audible quality to the breath. In our yoga practice, we use Ujjayi to create heat from the inside out to guide how far we move into our postures. A couple rounds of breath here, deepest breaths of your day. And with your next inhale, bring palms to heart center, press thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. We'll begin our practice with 1 round of Om, the universal sound of nature. You're welcome to join in at any pitch or simply listen. Preparing to inhale to Om. And release the hands back to the knees, open the eyes as we begin to move. Take an inhale, reach the arms out and up. On the exhale, right arm back, left arm forward. Seated twist. Inhale, arms up, lift the gaze. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. And continue this way on your breath. Each time you inhale, lengthening through the spine. Each time you exhale, pulling the belly up under the ribs. Already here, making a vinyasa, connecting breath with movement in an intentional way. Good. Couple more rounds like this. And the next time you finish up the left side, meet me through center, arms reaching up. Good. Take a deep inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, hands behind the hips, fingers pointed toward you, and lift the hips up any amount. Maybe sits bones lift all the way up the mat. Option to lift to release the neck back, squeezing shoulder blades together. And breathe. Deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Find your seat. And then switch the cross of your legs, opposite leg in front or on top. Once more, stacking shoulders over hips. Take an inhale, reach the arms out and up. On the exhale, bend the elbows, prana mudra, and hold here. Striving to keep elbows at shoulder height. Maybe gaze turns up, palms pressing back. Good, keep the sits bones and legs grounded. Deep inhale here. On the exhale, walk the hands forward for our first forward fold. Keep the arms shoulder distance apart, tense up on all 10 fingertips, and then draw the chin to the chest. Slight rounding through the back, and breathe. Especially in forward fold, it's important not to hold the breath, even as we compress the belly. With your next inhale, walk the hands in, roll over the knees, and come to tabletop pose. Coming to stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And take a look down at your palms. We have a tendency to rotate the pointer fingers in, pointer fingers shining forward, fingers spread wide. And then start to lift up behind the navel. Next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Marjarasana. Exhale, pull the belly in and up, tuck the chin, Balasana. A few rounds of cow-cats on your breath. Always striving in cow-cats to keep the arms and legs straight and strong, just moving through the spine. Let the breath come first, and then the movement follows. When you finish your next exhale, meet me in neutral tabletop, pressing firmly through both palms, gaze between the thumbs. And take an inhale, send the right leg back, option to reach the left arm forward, and we'll hold here. Create length all the way from left fingers to right toes. Good, building some heat. Deep inhale here. Exhale, right leg to the right, maybe left arm to the left. Shift your gaze to the right big toe. Good, and then see if you can lift that right foot toward hip height. Next inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. Exhale to tabletop, release, shake out the hips. And we'll move right to the second side. Take an inhale, send the left leg back. Option to reach right arm forward. Gaze stays low here. Back of the neck is long. Spread through your left toes. Reach through the right fingers. Deep inhale for length. Exhale, left leg to the left. Maybe right arm to the right. Shift your gaze to the left big toe. Good. Notice if you're collapsing to the right, press down through that left palm. Next, inhale, left leg back, just a breath. Exhale, release, draw the legs together, and then sit the hips back toward the heels for Balasana, child's pose. Arms can be forward for more engagement, or you can release the arms back, giving the shoulders a rest. Either way, let forehead release to the mat. Feel welcome to come back here to child's pose at any point in our practice, especially if the breath becomes choppy. One more Ujjayi breath cycle here. Next inhale, reach the arms forward, press up to hands and knees, and then tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Choose your foot alignment here for traditional feet, more intensity. Bring big toes to touch, heels an inch or two apart. If that feels too intense on the backs of the legs, walk your feet hips distance apart. And then start to let heels drop energetically toward the mat. Draw the shoulders back and down. And relax the back of the neck. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank. We'll hold here. Knees can be lifted or lowered. If the knees are lowered, they're behind the hips, different than tabletop. Gaze is low. Bakasana. Good. If knees are lifted, buttocks is a little bit below the back of the head. Long line from head to heels. Deep inhale here. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Next inhale, back to plank. Just a breath. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Hug the elbows to the ribs. We'll hold here. Ashtanga Namaskar. All 10 toes pressing to the mat. As the lower back arches, keep the belly active. Pull up behind the navel. And with an inhale, slide to the belly, straighten the legs, hover palms and knees. Classical cobra, shoulders pulling down and back, elbows toward the rib cage. Take another inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, press through knees or plank, back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 deep Ujjayi breaths here, in and out through the nose. Remembering you can always find child's pose instead. And with your next inhale, shift the gaze between the thumbs, come on the tiptoes, slowly tiptoe toward the hands, flattening through the palms, keeping palms planted as long as you can. And then we'll meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Check back in with your feet, same feet here as you chose for down dog and plank. And either way, spread the toes wide. Let the shoulders and head hang heavy and start to sway gently left and right. If palms are on the mat, you can flip the palms over, back of the hands to the mat. Maybe gaze starts to turn up between the legs. Explore how far forward you can draw the weight to the toes, stacking hips over heels. The next time you sway through center, find some stillness. And then take a deep bend in the knees, head and shoulders hang heavy. Next inhale, slowly roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Press down through the feet. Head and shoulders come last. And we'll meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. Once more, grounding down through both feet, toes spread wide. Preparing for classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes on the breath. From the top of the mat, inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, shoulders back. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Option to lower knees. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, elbows to ribs. Inhale, slide to the belly. Hover palms and knees. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, heart center, second side. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward. Press the heels back. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide to the belly. Hover palms and knees. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward. Inhale. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart. Again, like this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank. Balasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward. Balasana. Exhale, lower. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, hips forward. Exhale, heart, moving right on to modern Surya Namaskar A. From the top of the mat, inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Exhale, step to plank, lower to the belly, untuck the toes. Inhale, modern cobra, hips and feet on the mat. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog, and hold here. About 5 breaths. Option to lower the knees instead. If you're in down dog, face is fully relaxed, hips driving up and back, palms pressing flat to the mat, and breathe. You found child's pose, moving back to down dog. Next inhale, gaze forward, step or float between the hands, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release, Tadasana. Ground down through the feet. Reach the fingers toward the feet. And then close the eyes or soften the gaze. Come back to noticing the breath. Take a few rounds of intentional breath here, just noticing what's shifted through your practice of sun salutes. One more breath cycle here. And then open the eyes, adding on. Bring the hands to the hips, ground down through the right foot. With an inhale, step the left foot all the way back for high lunge. Keep that back heel lifted. When you find your balance, reach the arms up and then pull the shoulders back and down. Make sure you can see your right big toe inside your right knee. You can always take a bend in that back knee for less intensity. Gaze is straightforward and soft. Good. Chandrasana. Moving on the breath, inhale, reach through the fingers. On the exhale, lower the left knee, tap. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, tap the left knee. Once more, inhale, rise up. On the exhale, tap the knee and stay here, low lunge. Deep inhale here. Exhale, straighten the front leg, reach the hands forward. Find your blocks. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Bring your hands on your blocks and then walk your hands and blocks as far forward as you can. Keep that back hip over the knee. Using blocks here just helps us to find some more length through the spine. Strongly flex your right toes toward the top of the head. And breathe. Lord of the monkey pose, visualizing you're catching some flight here, flying over the Himalayas. And with your next inhale, bend the front knee, plant the palms, frame the foot, and step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank, Bakasana. Exhale, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Untuck your toes, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, gaze forward and step or float to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, release the arms, top of the mat. Ground down for both feet. Take an inhale, reach both arms up. Catch the left wrist with the right hand. Exhale, bend to the right. Press your left hip to the left. And then notice if that left hip pulled forward, pull it back, shift your gaze up. Good, standing side crescent moon. Next inhale, arms through center, lift the gaze up and catch the right wrist with the left hand. This time bend to the left, press your right hip to the right. Pull that right hip back in space. Turn your gaze up under the armpit. And with an inhale back through center, exhale, palms touch, press the hips forward, standing back bend. Pressing through heels and toes, lift the weight up and out of the lower back. And breathe. Good. Next inhale, stand straight up. Exhale, hands to hips. And we'll take that all on the second side. This time grounding down through the left foot. With an inhale, step the right foot all the way back. High lunge. Stay lifted on those back toes. Find your balance. And then reach both arms high. We're striving to stack that back heel over the toes. Make sure you can see the left big toe inside the knee. Good, and then draw the shoulders down and back. We'll find that movement on the breath. Inhale, reach through the fingers. Exhale, lower the right knee, lightly tap. Inhale, high lunge, rise up. Exhale, lower and tap. Once more, inhale to lift. Exhale, lower and stay here. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Take an inhale, reach through the fingers. And on the exhale, fold forward, straighten the front leg. Bring your hands to your blocks. Firmly plant your palms on the blocks. And then start to walk your hands as far forward as you can. Back hip stays over the knee. Let the face relax, running tongue between lips and teeth. And breathe. Ardha Hanumanasana, Lord of the monkey pose. Keep the hips squared here, pulling right hip forward, left hip back. Breathing into your left hamstring. Next, inhale, bend the front knee, plant the palms, and step it back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold here, flow with me on the breath. If you're flowing, inhale forward to plank, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Eventually meet me back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Good, from down dog, deep inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees to the wide edge of the mat. Big toes touch, press the hips back. Wide-legged Balasana. And then plant the elbows on the mat. Bring the palms together. Walk your elbows forward and together first. And then bring thumbs toward the back of the neck. Feel that length through the back body as the hips press back toward the heels. And reconnect to your breath. Notice any new sensations in body, mind, or breath. No good or bad, just notice what is. With your next inhale, press up to hands and knees. From tabletop pose, lower to the forearms, elbows under shoulders, forearms parallel, press down through the palms, and then step the feet back to forearm plank. Same options as regular plank here. If your forearm plank, your buttocks is above your head or your back is sinking, lower your knees behind your hips. Otherwise, long line from back of the head to heels. And we'll hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, lower to the belly, keep your arms as they are. Nadaviralasana, Sphinx pose. Untuck your toes, striving to draw inner thighs and inner feet to touch here. Forearms parallel, pointer finger shining forward. Take an inhale, press through the forearms, lift the chest. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Feel your collarbones open. And if this feels accessible to go deeper, press up on the palms. Keep the arms straight here. Maybe walking hands toward the hip bones, but keeping hips on the mat. If it feels okay on the neck, option to turn the gaze up, release the neck back. Good, notice if shoulders are scrunching up to the ears, pull them down and back, drawing elbows toward the ribs. A few breaths in your variation. Last couple breaths, option to bend the knees, point the feet toward the back of the head for a deeper variation, seal pose. Deep inhale wherever you're at. Exhale, release to the belly, release the legs, let the forehead rest on the palms. And take a couple deep, smooth rounds of breath here. We'll take another round of back bends on the belly, this time bow pose with a couple different options. Once more, bend the knees, point the feet toward the back of the head, and then reach your hands back. If you can, catch the insides of both feet. If you can't, bring hands to the hips, or you can have one hand on the hip, one hand catching the foot. Draw your inner thighs together. Take an inhale, lift the chest up, kick the feet to the hands. Exhale, shoulders back and down, gaze becomes straight forward here. Good, Danurasana. If this feels comfortable to go deeper, draw your quads to the mat, flex your feet, keep drawing inner thighs together. We'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1 and slowly release forehead to palms. This time crisscross your legs and ankles back and forth, bringing out through the outer hips, and find your rhythmic breath. And then send your legs long, tuck your toes, bring palms under shoulders. We'll work on pressing up through plank with lots of integrity in our alignment. Before rising up, lift the kneecaps off the mat, press the toes down, and then draw elbows toward the rib cage. Gaze stays low. When you're ready, take an inhale, slowly press up through plank. Exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find a flow on your breath or hold down dog. Choose what you need here. Always the option to add an extra push-up halfway down or skip the push-up altogether. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. From down dog, bend the knees. Walk the hands back toward the feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Bring the feet hips distance apart if they're not already. And then catch the big toes with the first 2 fingers. Cap it with the thumb. You can bend the knees as much as you need here. And take an inhale, half lift, flat in the back. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head releases. Belly pulling in and up. Strongly press through the toes here as you lift the weight out of the heels. And if the elbows start to bend, let them splay out to the sides. Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose. Next, inhale, half lift, release the toes. And on the exhale, bear crawl your hands forward, back to downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step through for warrior 1. Plant your back heel. When you're ready, rise up, reach the arms high. Exhale, deep bend in the right knee. Pull that left hip forward, right hip back. Good. Next, inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach forward, hands toward your blocks. Pyramid pose. Your blocks can be at any height here. Walk your hands as far forward as you can. Hips stay square toward the top of the mat. Make sure you're pressing through inner and outer edges of both feet here. If this is too intense, you can heel toe that front foot further to the right, widening the tracks between your feet. Pargo Tanasana. Even if you don't normally use blocks in this pose, keep your hands on blocks for our next transition. Take an inhale, bend the front knee, press through the palms. And on the exhale, send the left leg up, standing splits. Draw the elbows in towards your right leg. Lift that left heel high without opening the hip. Good, and breathe. Stay here or bring your right hand behind the right heel. Challenging balance. One more inhale. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Palms touch. Exhale, release. Moving through a flow. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to plank. Move through your flow. Meet me back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step through for Virabhadrasana 1. Plant your back heel. And with an inhale, rise up. Exhale, deep bend in the left knee. Good, and then pull right hip forward, left hip back, shoulders drawing down and back, away from the ears. Take an inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach forward first, and then fold, hands to blocks at any height. Find your balance, pressing equally through both feet, and then walk your hands and blocks as far forward as you can. Right hip drawing forward, left hip pulling back. And breathe. Pargo Tanasana. Striving to keep that back heel planted here. Same feet as warrior one. Keep your palms planted firmly on your blocks. And with an inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, lift the right leg up as high as you can. Press down through the palms. See if you can lift that right heel without opening the hip. Relax the back of the neck. And then stay here or bring left hand behind the left heel. Challenging balance. Maybe gaze turns all the way up towards your right foot. Deep inhale here. Exhale, step to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release, and bring both hands to the hips. Take a big step back with either foot to face the long edge of your mat. Slightly pigeon toe your feet, big toes slightly in. And then tuck the tailbone under, squeeze your glutes together, feel the pelvis open. Deep inhale here. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Release your hands to the mat or blocks. So we want to firmly plant our palms here. If they don't reach the mat, just bring your blocks at any height so you can press firmly through the palms. And then walk your hands back, tops of fingers in line with tops of toes. If you have headstand or headstand prep in your practice, you're welcome to go there. You're working towards Shavasana. Start by widening the distance between your feet. Draw the crown of the head toward the mat. We're making a nice triangle between both palms, shoulder distance apart, and crown of the head. Draw as much weight off of the top of your head as you can. Maybe stay here or start to stack knees on the backs of the triceps. You're feeling very stable. Option to try opening the legs up and out, lifting into full Shavasana. A couple rounds of breath for your variation. Making sure not to hold the breath as you start to invert. Good. If you're still finding inversion, begin to come back to your wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale, half lift, tent up on the fingers. And on the exhale, walk your hands forward off the mat. So you're in a wide-legged down dog. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Notice if the hips pulled forward, press them back. Relax the back of the neck. And breathe. Next, inhale, walk your hands back in. Bend the knees, bring the hands to the hips, and then roll all the way to standing. Heel toe your feet together. And step with control to the top of the mat. We'll move into Malasana here from standing. Bring your feet wider than hips distance apart. Toes out, heels in. And then bring palms to heart center. Before lowering, option to try lifting on the toes, lowering down with heels lifted. Either way, deep inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower, send the knees wide, open through the hips. Good, and then plant the feet if you can. If this is too intense, bring palms to the mat. Otherwise, keep palms at heart center. Use your elbows to open the hips out. Couple rounds of breath here. Spine lengthening forward and up. Hips grounding down and back. Actively squeeze your shoulder blades together. Notice how you feel that openness across the chest. Malasana, yogi squat. And then stay right here, or if you're working on crow pose, option for that here, Bakasana. If you have full crow, go there on your own. Otherwise, I'll talk us through. Planting palms shoulder distance apart. Fingers spread wide, lift the hips, and place your feet about a foot behind your wrists. From here, bend the elbows, draw the knees right into the armpits. We really want them in the armpits, not outside the arms. And then shift your gaze about 3 feet in front of your mat. You can explore lifting one set of toes and then the other. Maybe draw big toes together, pulling heels toward the perineum. Really need a nice 90-degree bend in the arms here to catch some flight. About 5 or 6 rounds of breath to explore Bakasana, being patient with where you're at. Some people like to put a block under their forehead here, just to help you feel more comfortable if you were to fall forward. So that's always an option. And if you're still exploring Bakasana, slowly make your way back to Malasana, yogi squat. We'll take a wrist release here. Bring the backs of the hands together, fingers pointed down, and just press back and forth. Release. Good. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. Our last down dog, planting the hands, stepping the feet back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Option for one more flow on your breath here, or hold down dog. If you're flowing, really slow it down. Long, slow breath cycles. Since we have blocks today, meeting back in downward facing dog, option to try the float through practice. You're welcome to just lower to a seat. If you'd like to try floating through, bring your blocks to the top outer edges of your mat. So you're in down dog, but your arms are wide here. Press your palms firmly to the blocks. And then take an inhale, gaze forward, come on the toes. On the exhale, float the feet between the blocks, landing on the feet. Option to try a couple more times if you like, or simply find your seat. If that felt really accessible, the next step is to shoot the legs all the way through the blocks, coming fully to a seat. And if you haven't already, make your way to your seat. You can set your blocks aside, send the legs straight forward. Take a moment to pull the flesh out from under the sits bones. Sit nice and tall. With an inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Arms can come anywhere along the mat, legs or feet. Pargo Tanasana. Intense west-facing pose. Focusing more on drawing crown of the head toward the toes here, rather than bringing nose to knees. Using your exhales to pull the belly in and up, creating more space to fold. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold once more, find your edge. Next inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Plant the feet hips distance apart. Setting up for reverse tabletop here. Bring hands behind the body, fingers pointed toward you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and start to press firmly through hands and feet. Next, inhale, lift the hips, pull the sternum toward the sky. Exhale here, knees over ankles, maybe neck releases back. Keep drawing knees together if they start to splay out. Good. Pargo Tanasana, intense east-facing pose. We'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1, lower to a seat. And then send your legs long once more. We're making our way to the back, but we'll do so with core control. This time, pointing the toes. Reach the arms forward, thumbs up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, chin to chest. Look at the navel. Slowly lower to the back, reaching fingers toward feet. Going as slowly as you like here, eventually feeling lower back hit the mat. Middle and upper back. When you're ready, fully release. Flip the palms up. Let the feet splay out to the sides. And breathe. Take a deep, slow inhale through the nose. And then open the mouth, sigh it out. Twice more like that on your breath. Good. With your next inhale, draw the knees into the chest. Send the arms wide in a T. And flip the palms down. Deep inhale here, draw the knees in. Exhale, knees up and over to the left. Shift your gaze to the right. And then option to bring your left hand outside your right leg, adding a little extra weight. Just make sure not to press on the knee here. Maybe closing down eyes all together. Both shoulder blades in contact with the mat here. You can also slide a prop under the knees if they're high off the ground. And breathe. It's a good time to begin slowing down your breath cycle, adding an extra beat or two to each inhale and exhale. Take notice of just through intentional breath control, you can actively calm the nervous system. And know this is a tool that you carry with you when you're off your mat. Good. With your next inhale, draw the knees to the chest, roll to the back, and send both arms wide in a T, palms down. Ground down through the shoulder blades. Deep inhale here. Exhale, knees up and over to the right, at or above hip height. Shift your gaze to the left. And then option to bring right hand outside your left leg here, deepening the twist. Let the feet and ankles relax. Let the facial features relax. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. It's a good time to begin visualizing your breath's movement as we began our practice. Just becoming very present in the body through the breath. Maybe your breath has a particular color, shape, or feel today. Just notice and visualize. With your next inhale, knees to the chest, roll to the back, and then make your way to Happy Baby, Nadaviralasana. Bending the knees, catching outside feet or legs. Draw your knees toward the armpits, and then pull your ankles toward the face, striving to stack ankles over knees here. Notice how that deepens the stretch. Shoulder blades pressing down to the mat. Option to straighten one or both legs and rock and roll left and right. Maybe catch the big toes with the first two fingers if that's accessible. We're making our way towards Shavasana for our final rest. The next 10 or so rounds of your breath. Take any last movements, postures you need. Find any clothing or props you need to be comfortable and warm. Eventually moving all the way to the back body. If you're newer to yoga, you can think of Shavasana like sleep at the end of the day, that most important shape that we take to integrate all the experiences we've had on our mat, mind, body, and energetic body. As we move toward Shavasana, start to turn off your mental focus, what we call dharana, that mental focus on postures and breath, as you begin to go inward. Knowing you've put in the effort through movement and breath. All that's left to do is hold this shape of quiet and stillness. If you haven't already, move fully to the back body. Extend the legs long and let the feet splay out as they do. Flipping palms up can help to tuck shoulder blades underneath. Take a moment to draw the chin a bit closer to the chest. Create some length through the back of the neck. Once more, take a deep inhale through the nose and open the mouth. Sigh it out. With that exhale, let go of your Ujjayi pranayama. Turn off your breath control, but keep the mouth closed down. Let the breath become soft and shallow. Nowhere else to be, no one else to be, but exactly where and who you are right here. I'll chant us into Shavasana with 3 rounds of Om, the universal sound of nature. As I chant, disconnect more and more from physical sensations around you. As you go inward, finding stillness. Om Hara. Om Hari. Om Haru. Om Harai. Om Hara. Om. Om Hara. Om Hari. Om Haru. Om Harai. Om Hara. Om. Take a long, deep inhale all the way to the belly, and a long, slow exhale. Use the breath to come back to sensation in the body. And when you're ready, find small movements in the fingers and toes. And gently roll the neck back and forth, up and down. Always welcome to stay in relative stillness. When you're ready for more movement, reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe interlace the fingers. Take a full body stretch. Remembering that your effort on your mat today is just practice and preparation for your actions and interactions when you leave your mat. If it feels okay, eventually drawing knees to the chest, rolling to the right side body. Allowing a few generous breaths here before bringing head above heart. When you feel ready to rise, eyes closed or gaze soft, press yourself back to your most comfortable seat. We'll close our practice today as we began, sitting tall. We took Ardha Padmasana in the beginning, taking half lotus opposite side here. Either way, stack shoulders over hips, lightly roll the shoulders back and down, and then bring palms to heart center. Press thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. We'll close our practice with one round of Om. You can choose any pitch you like. You're welcome to join in or simply listen. Preparing to inhale to Om. Om. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. Namaste. Thanks for joining, whether you join live or on your own time. And if you'd like to support donation-based yoga, you can donate through PayPal and Venmo to Freelancer PhD. And either way, hope to get to practice with you again soon.